On the big news, Trump nominating Senator Mullen to be next DHS secretary. Let's bring in Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who joins us now on the phone. Governor, thanks for being with us here today. Congratulations on your primary victory for the general election to be reelected as governor of Texas. You heard Hakeem Jeffries, House Minority Leader. He said the Kristi Noem's removal at DHS is not enough. You have to have significant policy changes at DHS. You have been the governor of Texas through many different versions of policy changes, those under Joe Biden, those under President Trump. What's it look like under those different policies?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you, this may be a first for your show because I'm calling in live from the Alamo, and great to visit with you from the Alamo. But that said, listen, what we have seen during my time as governor is Joe Biden's open border policy, which are the kind of policies that Hakeem Jeffries was supportive of, versus Donald Trump's border policy, which is the most secure border we've ever seen. You saw the disaster of thousands of people crossing the border illegally every single day under Joe Biden, and now nobody crossing the border any day under Donald Trump. And so we need more of what Donald Trump is doing. What Hakeem Jeffries is demanding, I think, is not deliverable, because I don't think that the president or the Republicans or America should give Hakeem Jeffries any veto power over what's going on the border. Donald Trump was elected overwhelmingly to secure the border, stop illegal immigration, and remove anybody here illegally.
And do you feel good, Governor, about that under the leadership of Senator Markwayne Mullin?
Listen, you know he is tough as nails. And I think that's one reason why President Trump went to go to him, because he knows how to be tough, how to get the job done. And importantly, he knows how to work collaboratively with the president and execute exactly what the president wants delivered. And again, the president's job on the border and with regard to illegal immigration is not yet complete. It has to continue for 3 more years. And President Trump has to have the person he thinks will be best qualified to fulfill the duties that President Trump wants to have achieved on the border. And that's what I wanted to see also. Kristi Noem is a friend, done a great job, and I've known her since we were governors together. But I respect whoever President Trump is going to put into office, because I know no one in the entire world will do a better job of securing our border than Donald J. Trump.
Governor, I got to ask you about something from our state of Texas, where there are reports out that President Trump yesterday would make an endorsement in the primary race for senator and expect that the challenger between Ken Paxton and John Cornyn would drop out. Today, Attorney General Ken Paxton of Texas suggested that if, in fact, the Senate would vote on the SAVE Act to protect American elections, then he would consider dropping out of that primary to leave John Cornyn to run against James Tallarico as senator. What can you tell us about what's happening in Texas?
Well, to state the obvious, this is a hotly contested, very expensive primary race already. And the appearance is that President Trump is working with both Cornyn and Paxton to try to find a pathway forward to make sure we're going to have Republican leadership elected in November, as well as make sure we will have robust policies like the SAVE Act passed. And I can't tell you what all is going on behind the scenes. All I know is that there's no better power broker in the United States to get something done than Donald Trump.
Well, Governor, you're right. It is the first time we've had a live call in from the Alamo. We're proud and appreciate that you did so here 3 days removed from Texas Independence Day. Thank you, Governor.
God bless.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.